How is everybody doing? Um, I've been very sad in the last few days because of the situation of the white Afrikaners who have uh, were welcomed in Washington D.C. Under the false pretenses of being persecuted in South Africa. And I made a video about how this sadness relates to my relationship with the United States of America. Now, I just wanted to discuss it with regards to how this sadness relates to me with my relationship with white South Africans and white Afrikaner South Africans in particular. One thing that I've realized is that in South Africa, a lot of people of white and black don't know the other races very well. They don't know them very well. They don't know who these people are. They don't understand who they are. They don't have them in their lives. Most black and most white South Africans, they they grow up having no interaction with people of the opposite race except in tangential interactions like in shops where everyone is just passing each other, or when there's a black domestic worker or a gardener in a white person's home, and then they see people of who look different to them on television. And the first time that people of most whites and most black people actually interact with each other is when they go to university. But the majority of South Africans do not go to university. So, because I was also going to say when they go to private school, but also majority of South Africans don't go to private school. Majority of South Africans don't go to university. So I would say that less than 5% of South Africans go to private school. Even a fewer number goes to university. And so most people of either races don't know each other at all. And they go to live their lives and become adults, 10, 40, 10, 50, having no conception of who these other people are. And you can even see in terms of how people talk to each other online and how they engage with each other is that these people don't know each other. And a lot of it's stereotypes and conjecture and caricatures, overblown caricatures, that it becomes like almost impossible task for these people to understand where the other person is coming from. But also, it also even becomes a lot more difficult for each party to empathize with with where the other party is coming from. And and for me, the sadness that I feel also comes from the fact that I was, so to speak, grew up around white people, Afrikaners in particular. These people basically raised me. And I mean, I can give you an example about one particular Afrikaans family who the father is the one that, when my older brother was born, delivered him. And he also delivered me when I was born. And my family and their family have been close for the past 30 years, including the kids of both families. And he has played a father figure role in my life all of my life. an Afrikaans man with surname Van der Merwe. And when he retired as a doctor in KZN and they moved to the Western Cape, I've been to visit them in Mossel Bay several times since they moved there. And they even moved houses when they moved to Mossel Bay. And I went to visit them in the first house that they were living in Mossel Bay, and to the another second house that they moved to. I can make an example also about there is another one who was a principal of my school that founded the school that I was going to, or that I went to. Same name, Marhalbe, and she worked very closely with my father for the past 20 years. And whenever I was going home from university, she'll be the one that makes arrangements for me to be collected at the airport. Because also there was a time when my father didn't have a car. At the time when I went to university, because he sold his car, and then so we use her car to fetch me at the airport whenever I went home. And these are the people who, whenever, because she's from Cape Town, whenever they came to Cape Town to visit to visit her family, they'll come to check on me on behalf of my dad, to make sure that I'm fine, or my parents, make sure that everything is okay with me. I mean, I can make examples with many of these other folks who basically I can call them in traditional language that they are my aunts and uncles. And that's the kind of relationship that I would have with them. It's not just that this person was my teacher, but that the relationship that I have with them is a relationship of that she's my aunt, or that this person was at my doctor, but no, that they actually have a relationship of being my uncle. Another one, surname Swanepoel. When I was in primary school, he was one of my teachers, and then he became a pastor. He basically taught me everything that I know about being a man. Spent a lot of time with him in my teen years and leading up to me going to university. To this very day, when I go home, I don't go home without seeing him. All of these people, like, I don't go home without going to go see them, in a manner of saying that to announce that, hey, I'm home, to report back how are things going wherever I was in the world, been all over the world, just to check in, just as you would with family. That is to say, extended family, aunts, uncles. And those are just a few examples of the white people in my life who raised me, basically, in a cultural sense of saying it takes a village to raise a kid. There are many more other relationships I can talk of that, and these are white Afrikaans people. That when we're talking about relationships with Africa, white Afrikaners with black people, to me these are not just abstract concepts. These are real things that affect my real life and my real relationships. And when I interact with white people anywhere in the world, my upbringing affects that interaction and expectation, as it does with all of us. And so this is a direct contrast to people that I know who the first time they were in the same room with a white person and having to sit for extended periods of time with a white person in the room was when they went to university for the first time and they didn't know what to do with this interaction. Same thing with people of also of the opposite color. And so for me, the sadness that I feel is a sadness of saying that I feel extreme hurt by all of this, because in my view, I'm thinking that we are family, and if we are family, why would family lie about each other like this in the presence of outsiders, Americans, whatever, Europeans, Australians? Why would you do such a thing? Because the level of lies that are being told, not only for me are they making me angry and infuriated, I take them as a personal offense and a hurt, because of what my expectation is. But and I've realized that the nature and the tenor of the conversations that are happening online with regards to this issue is that we are at a point where the race relations in South Africa are beyond repair, where people are just saying fuck you, where black South Africans are saying for go tag. It is a very painful thing to see, and I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of it. Obviously, I know what human nature is. This is not even about the issue of race. It's just an issue of basic human nature. The human beings are evil. That's really something that I believe to be true, because of the fall, and that their basic inclinations are to do evil and to go more and more towards evil, which is what I'm seeing in this discussion, and something that I find as a family disagreement. Yeah. With that said, I even see some comments that are made by black South Africans here in my videos when I'm discussing these race issues. They expect me to hate white people. And so they make comments with an expectation that I must hate white people. And in a sense, I understand where they're coming from. They are tired, and they're just saying fuck off. And then oftentimes the comments that I get from white people in this channel are comments that are just so prejudiced, and treating blacks as if they are this monolithic block that thinks the same and wants the same thing. And what is worse is when they project their hatred to the ANC to me because I'm black, even though they have no idea what my views are towards the ANC. And it is such a prejudiced perspective, because it seems that it is not a criticism of ANC policies, which we can discuss and agree to disagree or even agree, but it is seemingly attachment that ANC incompetence is because they are black. That's often really the message that I get, that this is a black party. It follows that because they are black, that they will be incompetent. That's normally what I normally get here, and it's very sad. Yeah, it's very sad. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to share that because while we're busy fighting and doing all sort of things here, we might miss the fact that they're actual human beings in this fight, real people, real families, and not just caricatures, but actually real people. Let's not miss that. Let's not miss that at all. Cool.